Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing great. Welcome to the masterclass of Agentic AI strategies for product managers. I am Reza Madad, product leader of TikTok, leading AI initiatives leveraging LLM and transformers. Prior to TikTok, I was AI product lead at Amazon, where I was leading the end-to-end launch of AI-powered products leveraging natural language processing, computer vision, and Gen AI. I have been coaching and mentoring junior PMs and non-tech PMs to be transitioning into AI roles. And one of these platforms that I have been working with them in a couple of years actively as mentor instructor was Interview Kickstart. I strongly recommend checking out their introductory webinars. They're free. And that would be something as a first step for you if you want to transition to be AI product manager. Today, we will cover three main sections of the foundation of AI product management. Then we will go through a case study and later discuss the considerations for current and future career opportunities. Let's go through the first part. We all know about the rise of AI in product work. AI is no longer an experimental layer. It's a core product capabilities. These days, PMs are being in different levels as to lead AI-driven features, even without technical backgrounds. The PMs these days must understand what AI can do, how to scope it, and when to use it. AI PMs typically own one or some of these projects as we discussed, right? So the first one would be Gen AI use cases, like summarization of support ticket, calls, docs, content creation, like creating emails or having replies or reviews, search and retrievals with RAG, and also rapid prototyping or vibe coding. PMs increasingly use vibe coding or no code tools. They are using quick testing platforms for rapid prototyping and UX demos that are merging UX engineering and PM work with earlier stage or innovation teams. And the last but not the least is the workflow automation, like meeting tasks, follow-ups, autonomous agents, and decision support tools. These project types aren't futuristic moonshots, right? These are right now the high impact workflows that's happening in tech companies, large to small companies, and also startups. So here is the reality. AI features don't behave like typical softwares. The outputs are probabilistic, so you cannot test the same way. Outputs are probabilistic, so you cannot test the same way. The features are expected, the failures are expected. So you as a PM need to design for edge cases and explain the ability. You need human in the loop. You need to review before launching with all these human in the loop in your process. The KPIs would go beyond your usage. You need to understand, you need to include precision, recall, F1 score, and a lot of metrics regarding the trust. And if you treat your Gen AI and AI features like a backend tool, you risk failure, or in worst case, you are misleading users. So we need a new design and testing mindset for our PMs. But overall, where does agentic AI work best? I would say whenever logic, memory, and actions need to work together, like summarizing meetings and creating Jira tickets with some follow-up action items, or drafting roadmap considering themes and strategies. But in sensitive domains like finance or healthcare, where there is zero tolerance for hallucination or vague logic, that wouldn't be the case that strongly or even recommended using agentic AI. Agentic in those situations definitely needs extra caution. And with recent launch of agent mode within OpenAI, ChatGPT. We all saw that firsthand where these agents work best and where they aren't. So we need to be cautious about not using them everywhere, anywhere. You as an AI PM, or let's say in general as a PM, don't need to write Python code, but you must understand AI flows and tools like Cleric, Vercel, GPT, Clark, and so on and so forth. So these tools let you prototype, test, and validate AI ideas fast, which is a must to do in this fast-paced era. This is so different from like 15, 20 years ago that we have different personas with different separated line and different journey. Let me scratch that. These tools let you prototype, test, and validate AI ideas fast, which is a must to do in this fast-paced era. Okay, let's go through a case study. We want to better understand the application of agentic AI in one real-life example. So for an example, I brought up the Slack PM case study. Imagine you're a PM at a Slack focusing on improving team productivity. You as a PM identified in your first few days of joining the team that there are too many status update meetings. The decisions and tasks that are being discussed and finalized during the meetings are mostly undocumented and lost. Also, you did some interviews, right? As a great PM, we did some interviews with your stakeholders, the internal customers, and then you did some interviews with team members. You identified that there's a need to have more async work, but your customers or team members are worried about losing clarity and follow through. So this is your challenge, or let's say your mission. As a PM of a Slack, how can you reduce meeting time without sacrificing alignment or accountability? In this case, I would say you can leverage Gen AI to address the current pain points, extract insight, track next steps, and build trust in async workflows. This is something that is going to be much faster and better without leveraging. This is going to be more effective leveraging Gen AI comparing to other solutions that we used to use traditionally. But execution isn't easy. AI struggles with noisy meeting data. The users don't want to read full transcripts. The legal teams worry about compliance and privacy. And this is where thoughtful product design makes or breaks your launch. So with all that in consideration, for our MVP, we can target async teams of PMs, engineers, and remote workers who need fewer meetings but still want a structure and accountability. Talking about the target users, let's say we want to have the workflow of our solution. Okay, let's go through how a multi-agent AI system would work inside a tool like Slack using integrations like Zapier and OpenAI. The process begins with capturing the meeting, whether that's via Zoom, Google Meet, or any other conferencing tool. Audio is the primary raw material here, so capturing clean, structured recording is essential. Next, we use a transcription model like Whisper from OpenAI to convert the audio into a readable timestamps text. This step lays the foundation for all downstream processing, and it is where many product teams struggle with accuracy, especially for overlapping speakers or poor audio. There could be some issues with speaker diarization, labeling, and segmentation, which is typical. And that's one of the important things in AI dubbing that I used to work and leading at Amazon Studios. With transcript ready, the first agent steps into extract key elements, decision made, action items, open question, and even sentiment. This is where large language models shine, filtering the noise and identifying what matters. We can fine-tune prompts here to prioritize specific content types or use retrieval augmented generation RAG if context is needed. Another agent generate a human readable summary that makes it easy to scan in seconds. You can split this into multiple summaries, one for context, one for next steps, and one for risks or blockers. But you need to be aware of summary fatigue. Too much text without prioritization, but be aware of summary fatigue. Too much text without prioritization causes trust to drop. Remember, trust was one of the key things that we wanted to address. We have found that bullet points with tagged owners and deadline work best. So next step here in our workflow, the summary is automatically posted to a relevant Slack channel or sent as a DM, direct message. This moment is critical because if you post it too late, the value drops. Real-time delivery helps teams act while context is still fresh. And the final step, a follow-up agent kicks in to assign owners, set reminders, and nudge progress asynchronously. This is how you replace endless meetings with a smart AI-powered follow-through. Good. Now, let's say our multi-agentic AI solution works successfully, and as a result, the meeting time drops by 15%, follow-through improves by 50%, and 70% of users prefer AI summaries. Good, very good. But we need to be aware of inaccurate extraction. But we need to be aware of inaccurate extractions, summary fatigue, legal blockers. This is why AI PMs needs to manage both user value and system risks at the same time. Shipping agentic AI features requires more than just adding it requires a new mindset. That's why we need that transition into AI PM. It's not all about practicing. It's all about like changing the mindset while we are doing the case studies, practices, and theories, and all of these projects together, right? The mindset needs to be new and related and tailored to agentic AI. Let's break it down into 4 instincts that PMs need to develop. The first one, think of AI agent like product feature. They need clearly scoped responsibility. Like a summarizer agent is not the same as a planner agent or a compliance checker. PMs must define roles, inputs, and outputs like what we do with user stories or feature modules. Autonomy and review. With agents making decisions, we need to define how much autonomy is acceptable. What needs human review? Where can the agent act alone? For example, summarizing a meeting, sure. Assigning next week's roadmap, maybe not without PM approval. So striking this balance is what makes AI usable and trusted. Shaping user experience. AI doesn't just run in the background. It is the experience. Whether it is generating a summary, asking clarifying questions, or nudging you to take action, AI touches the user directly. That means we must design not just for correctness, but for clarity, tone, and interaction style. And finally, system orchestration. PMs aren't just writing specs anymore. We are working on orchestrating multi-agent systems. That includes deciding when agents trigger each other, where data flows, and how feedback is looped back. It's a shift from linear thinking to modular. Agent driven architecture is powered by tools like LangGraph, Crew AI, and orchestrators like Zapier or Retool. And the core takeaway here is you are not just building features. You're now designing cooperative intelligence within your product as AI. And the last section is all about talking about AI career relevance and opportunities for PMs with some practical guidelines for you. AI is no longer is a niche. This is a default expectation in product strategy. AI is become a horizontal layer, impacting UX, automation, and insights. And the PMs are expected to understand AI capabilities and constraints. We need to understand how AI native features are working, because that will be differentiation between PMs and AI PMs, or let's say just successful PMs. So to me, PMs from now on need to know, design, and also implement AI-driven features, and they would be in high demand from now on. Let's do it again. So PMs who can scope, design, and own AI-driven features are in high demand in the market. We are tracking the job market regularly. As you see here in this slide, Gen AI keyword in PM job descriptions is mentioned 42% higher than last year. Even in the interview process, we have seen some evolvement. We have seen from some tech companies, they added live vibe coding for PM interview process. Companies link AI fluency to leadership, decision-making, and even compensation. So the message is clear. This is the new baseline. Let's talk about what top companies actually look for in AI PMs. The first would be strategic scope definition. The ability to define a strategic scope is important. AI PMs must know how to take a vague idea, like use AI to improve onboarding, and turn it into a sharp, measurable product direction. This means balancing ambition with feasibility and understanding where AI is valuable and when or where it is overkill. Systemic thinking. AI features are not one-off launches. They are part of complex, evolving systems. Systemic thinkers, PMs, excel at breaking down processes, defining agent responsibilities, and managing feedback loop. Think pipelines, not pages. Collaboration muscle. Building AI features require alignments across engineers, researchers, data scientists, designers, and legal or compliance. You are not just driving timelines. You are aligning visions, risk tolerance, and user value across disciplines. Ethical judgment. You are constantly making calls about privacy, hallucinations, bias, and safety. You need to spot risk early and build in safeguard, because AI done wrong sometimes can erode trust fast. Let's do it again. Because AI can go wrong, and that would erode trust. And the last but not the least is evaluation mindset. The last but not the least is evaluation mindset. I would say this one is the most underrated instinct of PMs. AI PMs must have a model evaluation mindset. You will often be asked, is this model good enough? What are the trade-offs between precision and recall? Even if you don't code as a PM, you must be able to reason about model performance and pick the right benchmarks. That being said, let's wrap up with something practical. If you want to thrive as an AI PM, here's a simple 5-step roadmap to future-proof your career, regardless of your current technical depth. Start by getting hands-on with no-code or low-code tools and building AI agents and workflows without needing to code from scratch. Understand how agents interact, how prompts are constructed, and how memory works is crucial for designing real features. The next would be developing a strong intuition about how LLMs behave, what they are good at, where they hallucinate, and how context, length, and temperature affect output. Think of it like learning the physics of a new medium. You need to understand its strengths and limits to use its creativity. One of the key PM superpowers is scoping. So practice framing real-world AI problems. Can you take a vague business challenge and turn it into a structured AI use case? For example, turning we get too many customer emails into auto tag and route support requests based on urgency and topic. Then start building a portfolio of AI-powered product concepts or MVPs, even if they are not related to your current project or current full-time job, or they're very internal, right? So think of it as some side projects. You need to showcase that you can own the end-to-end from idea to workflow to prototype to testing. And this is actually what recruiters and hiring managers want to see these days from PMs. And finally, I would say, no matter if you want to be AI PM or non-AI PM, you need to stay plugged in. Join PM and AI communities, share what you learn, what you're working on, ask for feedback, and be visible, right? It's all about exposure. This is how you stay current, inspired, and discover new collaboration opportunities. I hope you found this session helpful and in terms of how AI, let's do it again. I hope you found this session helpful in terms of how AI is shaping the PM role and how to stay ahead. As a final, if you're interested in leveling up your AI fluency, I would recommend checking out the AI PM webinar interview Kickstart. All the best. See you later.
The truth is, product managers won't be replaced by AI, but they will be replaced by PMs who know how to build and lead AI-powered systems. At Interview Kickstart, we've built a first-of-its-kind Agentic AI program for tech professionals, including custom tracks for PMs. You'll design real-world capstone projects like AI-powered feature prioritization tools, sentiment analysis systems that auto-align with roadmaps, competitive intel bots that monitor markets in real time. This isn't a solo learning experience. You'll be mentored live from a pool of over 700 plus FAANG instructors, including AI leaders from Google, Amazon, Apple, and more. PMs like Venkatesh Babu, who is a senior director, call the program incredibly well organized and outstanding. Our alumni average $312,275 in compensation, with 20,000 careers transformed and 5x ROI on the course. In just 14 weeks, you'll master the tools shaping Agentic AI, LangGraph, Crew AI, LangChain, RAG pipelines, no-code agents, and more. The Agentic AI Career Boost webinar is your first step. Join now before these roles pass you by.